Well, we are very honored today to host Pallavi Verma. Pallavi is Senior Managing Director for Accenture Midwest. She leads more than 10,000 employees across 13 states. A widely recognized and highly decorated executive, Pallavi was one of the Chicago Tribune's 10 business people to watch and was named Corporate Tech Leader of the Year at the Women Tech Founders Midwest Women in Tech Awards, both in 2017. At Accenture for 31 years, Pallavi drives a culture of innovation and community engagement, attracting top talent to Accenture. She is a champion for Accenture's National Apprenticeship Program, which this year attains the milestone of over 450 apprentices trained. Very active in her community, Pallavi contributes to numerous organizations advancing education, the arts, and women in leadership. Here today to inform us how emerging technologies are changing how we grow and prepare tomorrow's workforce, please help me welcome Pallavi Verma.
Good morning, everyone. As Jeff said, I'm Pallavi Verma, and I oversee Accenture's business here in the Midwest. Accenture is a global consulting and technology company with more than 475,000 employees around the world, and we work with 70% of the Fortune 500. We recently expanded into Des Moines through two very important acquisitions, Pillar Technology and MXM. But first, before I move into my remarks, I want to sincerely thank Governor Reynolds for inviting me to talk about technology's impact on our future workforce, a topic that is critically important for our economy, to Accenture, and to me personally. I also want to thank Link Kroger of Pillar Technology, which, as I mentioned, recently became a member of the Accenture family. A longtime Iowan, Link has been a tireless advocate for bringing opportunities of the new economy to Iowa and creating what could be a national model for economic development. I'm proud of the impact Link and the Pillar team are making every day for their clients, their community, and their state. Today, I'd like to talk about three topics. First, the role technology and its constant state of evolution plays in business and in our daily lives. Second, how technology impacts our current workforce. And last and most important, how technology can transform our future workforce here in Iowa and for the long-term benefit of all Iowans and the entire country. First, let's talk about the role technology plays in business and in our daily lives. You know, I've been at Accenture for 31 years, and in that time, I've seen how technology has brought extraordinary changes to Accenture and to the broader business community. Let's look at the Fortune 500 list as an example of the companies listed on the Fortune 500 in the year 2000. 50% have either gone bankrupt, have been acquired, or ceased to exist due to digital disruption. How many of you in the room use Apple products? How many of you order things from Amazon? Apple wasn't even on the Fortune 500 list 30 years ago, and now it's number 4. Amazon first made the Fortune 500 in 2002 at number 492, and now it's currently number 8. That said, when you look at the top of today's Fortune 500 pyramid, you see iconic companies like Walmart, AT&T, Ford, Home Depot, and Bank of America. Great brands across different sectors that are still at the top of their game, in part because they are likely to embrace digital technologies. Rather than let digital disrupt them, they have used technology to disrupt their industry. And I bet the companies that have fallen from the Fortune 500 likely either ignored technology or did not react to it quickly or successfully. So as business leaders, we have a choice. We can be disruptors or we can be the disrupted. Which leads me to my second point, how technology impacts our current workforce. When it comes to digital disruption, you have three simple choices: to plan, react, or to ignore it. Here's an interesting fact. There are 7.1 million job openings in the United States and only 6.2 available workers. And many of those workers are lacking the right skills to fill the open jobs. So one of our recent studies also found that over the next 10 years, more than half of the tasks we perform at work have the potential to be augmented by technology, and nearly 40% could be automated by technology. Now, that doesn't mean robots are coming to take our jobs. It actually means some tasks that workers regularly perform can be done more effectively with the assistance of technology. A nurse, for example, may use technology to automate time-consuming paperwork, freeing up more time for patient care, a critical component of this job. Or a farmer may use emerging technologies to augment how she cares for her crops. By providing data in real time to the farmer while out in the field, she can take steps to improve the soil or adjust irrigation methods to ensure healthier crops. These are just two ways technology could automate some tasks while augmenting others, and by doing so, enable workers to be more productive or pursue higher value work. Now, this leads me to my last topic, which starts with a question. What do the jobs of the future look like? More importantly, what could jobs in Iowa look like? As a preview, on any given day, you can find our people helping a utility company use drone-based systems for visual surveillance and data gathering, making inspection processes safer and more efficient. Partnering with a retailer to implement artificial intelligence to improve call center effectiveness, and helping a medical technology company build a mobile solution to streamline and coordinate real-time patient treatment care. This work is disruptive, and it's just some of the work we do in Iowa and the Midwest. And it is proof that the tech jobs of the future are not confined to places like Silicon Valley, to Seattle, or Boston. To plan for and participate in this disruption means rethinking the way companies recruit, train, and reskill their employees, and reimagining the way universities, community colleges, and technology academies prepare their students for their futures. It also means disrupting the way government, business, and academia work together to create tomorrow's talent. Think about it. The nation's next generation technologists and innovators could be homegrown right here in Iowa. Iowa could be producing both real seed corn for livestock as well as virtual seed corn for innovation. These opportunities can happen and will happen when we prepare our future workforce for the jobs of tomorrow. Those are issues we at Accenture are really passionate about. We live in a world where talent is equally distributed, but opportunity is not. It's time we disrupt that old notion, and it starts by developing our future workforce. As you know, the old adage, if you build it, they will come. How? Let me start by telling you a story. In 2016 in Chicago, we attended a breakfast from Chicago's outgoing mayor, Rahm Emanuel. And he asked the business leaders there to raise their hands if they have ever hired anyone from our community college network, City Colleges of Chicago. Not a single hand went up. That was a tipping point for us. So we teamed with city colleges and created our first professional apprentice program, unlocking a new diverse talent pool, one that we had previously overlooked. Since 2016, we've expanded our apprentice program into 9 communities across the U.S. by the end of the year. And as Jeff said, we will have trained 450 apprentices. The majority of apprentices who have already completed our program are now full-time employees of Accenture. Last year, we joined with several companies in Chicago to launch an apprenticeship network. Today, more than 20-plus companies have created more than 400 apprenticeship opportunities right in Chicago. Right here in Des Moines, there are several exciting initiatives that will fuel innovation and ignite many future technology careers. Later this summer, we will open a new office we call The Forge in Jefferson, focused on software and hardware innovation. Bringing together private, governmental, and community college support, this Forge will deliver real-world projects with the goal of having several homegrown professionals working together on next-generation technology solutions. Our ambitions in Illinois, Iowa, and across the country go well beyond our own business. Preparing our future workforce needs to be part of a larger national movement driven by business, government, education, and community leaders to fill the digital economy jobs of today and tomorrow. That's why it wasn't enough for us to just start an apprentice program. We joined other partners in Chicago to create a playbook, capturing best practices, case studies, outlining steps companies and communities can take to create their own programs. No one entity can fill the gap on its own. It takes this collective, everyone in this room today, working together to create partnerships that focus on K-12 education, reskilling and apprenticeships, and together creating an environment of lifelong learning and professional development that will prepare our future workforce to be the disruptors, not the disrupted. For the public sector leaders in the audience, continue to partner with your business community and its leaders. We need to work hand in hand with you to make an impact in the places we live and work. For those of you in the academic world, team with local employers in your area on your curriculum and help your students create new career paths. One of the best ways to close our skills gap is to pair our business needs with your education. And I can't stress enough the importance of STEM and computer science education, especially in K-12. For those of you in the business world, take a look at your job descriptions and the type of education and skills you need. And based on that, look at your recruiting efforts. Are you casting a wide enough net and reaching this untapped pool of talent? Also, hold yourselves accountable for building a diverse talent pool. I can tell you that we did. At Accenture has committed to achieving a gender-balanced workforce by 2025. That's 50% men, 50% women. And I'm incredibly proud to say that we are well on our way. As of right now, we have 43% of our global workforce are women. And lastly, for the high school students in the audience, consider a job in technology or in a technology-enabled field. Regardless of what industry you go into, be it medical, agriculture, or business, technology will be at the heart of what you do. Again, I'd like to extend my thanks to Governor Reynolds for the opportunity to participate this morning. More importantly, thank you for your leadership to make Iowa future ready.
Thank you, Pallavi. Friends, we are joined today by high school students from Greene County High School. They partner with Pillar Technologies to learn computer science, and they've volunteered to come deliver some questions to Pallavi at this time. I invite you to line up here and introduce yourselves, your grade level, and then we invite your question. Who's first?
All right. As AI shapes the future with respect to creating new and changing existing careers, what should schools be doing to prepare students for these changes?
I mean, I think the first step in all this is really what's happening here today, which is convening, schools, businesses, government, to really understand the opportunity. I think the thing that schools can do is what I said earlier, which is to team with businesses and to really understand what the needs will be, adjust the curriculum. Some interesting stats. There are about 4,000 open computing jobs in Iowa and only 469 computer science graduates in Iowa. So there's a huge gap, but I think of it as a huge opportunity. So again, I would say schools need to partner with businesses and understand what the needs are of business, and then we need all of you students to take those classes and love it.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Kitt, and with the Forge coming to Greene County, what advice would you give to students after high school that hope to start a career with Pillar Technologies and Accenture?
I would say, focus on your STEM classes, take computer science classes, and learn about all the different ways that you can use technology to solve problems and be excited about it. There's many different avenues you can take, but I'd say first and foremost, take some computer science classes.
Thank you.
Cody Maston. Iowa law encourages every elementary, middle, and high school to offer high-quality computer science instruction by July 1, 2019. Should this be a requirement instead of an option?
Yes, I think it should be a requirement. That's an easy one for me. And hopefully you guys are excited about that too. I think that computer science education literacy is important as reading and math. It is a pervasive part and will continue to be a pervasive part of our lives, whether we like it or not. So I think that it's absolutely critical, and I think it would be a differentiator for the state.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mitchell Stevens. The commitment of Accenture to education is strong. How can we get more businesses like yours to engage with schools?
I think, what I said earlier, which is it starts with moments like today, or the one that I talked about that the mayor of the city of Chicago did, which is convening a group of business leaders along with educators to talk about how we can create the right set of opportunities for students and really create the right construct. It would be great coming out of this session if we get a bunch of businesses to agree to sign up to do apprentices. So I think it is really about understanding the opportunity. The stats that I said about 4,000 open jobs in computing and the 469 graduates, at a national level, that number is 500,000 open jobs in technology and 64,000 graduates in computer science. So the opportunity is incredible, and we need to convene together to create those opportunities. Thank you.
All right, I have one more then.
Okay, uh-oh.
All right. How can AI, artificial intelligence, be used to personalize the learning experience for each user?
I think it's a great opportunity, and absolutely, we all have different learning styles. So I think that I think that we're there from a technology perspective to be able to do it. Now we have to figure out how to make it mainstream. So think about the fact that certain students learn better by repetitive learning. Certain students learn better by problem solving. And if you can have a computer actually learn that about you and be giving you plans, lesson plans, tests around your learning style, we could make the opportunity for education actually be more equal for everyone. So I think the future is there. So I'm excited to see, and I think you might be the person creating that, right? So there's your opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Greene County students. We have a couple minutes, so on behalf of the room, I'm going to assume to ask a couple more questions that interest everybody.
Uh-oh.
One is, you're 31 years at the helm at Accenture in the most rapidly evolving profession and domain of knowledge, technology. What skills and knowledge have you acquired over the years, or did you acquire early on, that allowed you to be so agile and nimble over the course of this rapidly changing technology to stay at its forefront?
Yeah, you know, a little bit about my personal background is that I moved around a lot when I was a kid. And I probably have lived in maybe 12 to 14 different cities, 3 different countries, many different states. And I think what it taught me was the ability to adapt and to continue to learn as I went. And I think that was a skill that I didn't realize I got from all that moving around. It probably felt more painful at the time. But I think having that ability to force myself to adapt is what helped me get through this amazing technology curve that we've gone through. But for all of you in the audience, I would say continuing to be a lifelong learner, being curious, and always open the book, read a few things, learn about what's ahead. I certainly don't use the things that I learned in college, more than 31 years ago. What I learned was the ability to learn, and you should never lose that. We see the pace of technology changing even faster than it ever has, and if you don't continue to use that skill, you'll fall behind. So I would say just love to learn. Makes life more interesting.
Absolutely, thank you. And one more, if we can.
Sure.
The field of technology is disproportionately male, and I wonder about the young women of Iowa, the young women of America who have interest in pursuing technology careers, but have doubts about the preponderance of males in the profession and how they can overcome some of that inertia. What's your advice to young women who'd like to pursue technology, given it's presently male-dominated?
I'd say a couple things. One is, I say go for it. There's never been a better time to be in the field of technology. And I think technology is actually a great equalizer because it's a skill set that you have, and people aren't really looking for whether what you look like or what your gender is. They're looking for skills. So I think I would call technology a great equalizer, and don't shy away from it. And I think, having strong women leaders standing up front is important. You have that with your governor. So she's the best example that you have of somebody leading in the forefront. In fact, I would say the percentage of men as governors is much worse than even in technology. So, look at her as a great example. And I would say don't worry about it. It's lean in on your skills and your talent, and everything else will fall in place.
Wonderful. Would you all please join me in thanking Pallavi Verma?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be taking a short break now, but before we go,